Alright, so to transform the result that comes back from our query to a Java object, we need to grab the contents of it. So to grab the contents of each column, we can use the result set. So go ahead and say result set and then dot, and then you can see that they have various methods: get boolean and get string, get array, get big decimal, get blob, bytes, date. You can see size, get long, object, row, so on and so forth. So what we want is to grab the actual UID, and because they don't have any methods such as get and then UID, right? So we're going to get the UID as a string. So get and then string. So the UID, I mean the actual student ID. So remember, the type of it is UID. So we want to grab the column name and not the index, because if you change the order of your select statement, then the index won't work. So if you specify the column label, that will always be consistent. So the column label in our case is simply called student and then ID. So column label is this. So if I go to PSQL, you can see that the column label for student ID is student underscore ID, first name, first underscore name, last underscore name, email, and gender. So let's go ahead and simply grab that. And then if I extract this to a variable, you can see that this is a student and then ID and then str for string. But now we want to convert this string to a UID. So go ahead and say student and then ID equals to UID and then from string, and then pass student ID string. There we go. Next, let's go ahead and grab the first name. So go ahead and simply say result set dot and then get string. This will be first underscore name, call it first and then name, so camel case. Let's do the same for last name. Next, let's go ahead and grab the email. So duplicate that. This will be email and then email. And finally, let's go ahead and grab the gender. So gender and then str, and then this will be gender. And then let's go ahead and say dot to and then uppercase. And the reason why I'm converting it into an uppercase is because if I open up student, you can see that we have a gender enum, and the enum is male or female, and they are uppercase. So let's go ahead and simply convert to uppercase. Now let's go ahead and say student dot and then gender dot value of, and then pass gender str, and that would semicolon, extract to a variable and call it gender. And finally, what we have to do is simply return. So let's go ahead and return. Guess what? New and then student, and then pass student ID and pass first name, last name, gender, or actually I think it's email. So email and then gender. And there we go. So all that we have to do now is simply return students. So let's go ahead and simply return students. And we could even do this in line. So let's actually remove that and simply say return, and then just like that. And there we go. So you can see that we have this section right here that simply converts the actual data from our query. So it gets data from all these columns for each row and then transforms it into a Java object. And let me actually go ahead and put this into a new line so you can see exactly what we are doing, right? So there we go. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop me a message. But next, let's go ahead and refactor this a little bit so that it doesn't look that complicated.